Well, not exactly a Marshall stack, good people. This is David Taub coming to you from nextlevelguitar.com with another gear review. And we are going to review this little guy right here. This is a Roland Microcube battery-powered amplifier. And it looks pretty tiny sitting here right now. In fact, I have my iced coffee right next to it for scale. So you can kind of see about the size of this little Roland. This is my hand right here, Microcube. And I have it mic'd with a Shure SM57 that I'm just going to get out of the way for a second so you can kind of see the size of this bad boy. We're going to go through all of the features and I'm going to play for you some of the sounds you can get out of it. But if you take a look at the top of this guy, you can see that this they really pack a lot into this Microcube. It has a tone knob, volume knob, gain knob for distortion. It has a bunch of different modeled sounds, like an acoustic sound, a JC clean, like a jazz chorus. That's a Roland, very famous amp, their JC series, or jazz chorus. Black panel, a British combo amp, a classic stack, and a rectifier. Those are the more heavy distorted sounds. Also a microphone if you plug a mic into it. It has some reverb and delay. For built-in effects, has a phaser, a flanger, and also a chorus. It has a pitch pipe, which gives you an A or A flat. On the back, you have record out and headphone jack, auxiliary in, your power button. It has an adapter where you can plug in if you have a Roland adapter, so you can plug it in. And here's your battery case, and it runs off of 6 AA batteries, which last a surprisingly long time. You would think on a device like this the batteries would conk out pretty quickly, but actually they last quite a while. Comes with this handy dandy handle too, so you can kind of carry it around. And I'll tell you, there's some fun sounds in this little amp by Roland. As you know, Roland makes some really cool stuff. And for this module, I'm actually playing a pretty cool, wild-looking guitar. This is a Teisco, which was made the Tokyo Electric Instruments and Sound Company. This is a Spectrum 4 pickups. They made a Spectrum 5, which is pretty much the holy grail of Teiscos. They're worth a pretty good amount of money. You can see the crazy headstock with the 4-on-2 and the neat fret markers and volume and tone controls and this crazy tremolo arm, little design on the pick guard, and it has this kind of like a cut, like I guess kind of like a German cut like they did on Mosrite guitars, although this was probably made before those. This is like made like in the mid-60s, we'll call it. Mid-60s. It's called a German carve, actually. The Roland Cube goes for roughly about 120, 130 bucks. But it's a great little amp with a great idea of being able to, the portability of it. Like if you're just hanging out somewhere and you just want to grab an amp and jam with your friends, or take it over a friend's house or to the beach or something. It's battery operated. You don't have to worry about power, which is nice. Take it in the car on road trips and play it anywhere with the batteries. And it kind of has a lot of fun things. Now obviously you're not going to get a real full rich sound coming out of this one tiny little speaker, but overall you can have a lot of fun with this, and for the money I think it's a pretty good thing. Here, let me take you through some sounds. Right now I have it on a little bit of flanger, and out of the R-fire or rectifier, or kind of distorted kind of sound. So the flanger is kind of fun. If I turn the flanger off, you can kind of hear how it sounds without it. So it has a gain knob, so I can kind of back off distortion from heavy, kind of just give it a little bite. So you have a lot of versatility just within that one channel, because you can adjust the gain or you can adjust the tone and add your effects. So let's go through some more of the kind of the modeled sounds. And this is the JC Clean, or Jazz Chorus Clean sound. Let's add a little reverb to that, because it's a little dry. Now you can hear that reverb. So now I have the JC Clean with a little reverb. Sounds nice, that reverb. Let's add maybe a little bit of chorus to the sound. And you can kind of hear that real kind of modulation effect on that sweep on that chorus. It sounds pretty cool. And you could adjust the amount of chorus. You can't really, with this amp, you can't really adjust all the individual parameters of each effect. Like you can't adjust the sweep and the time or the repeats on the delay. It's just pretty much the effect, and do you want a little, a medium, or a lot amount of it by turning the dial. But, you know, again, it's a budget-priced amp, so it gives you like a good kind of a bunch of different things, you know. Here it is with a little bit more chorus. And of course I left the reverb on. And I'm on this black panel setting, and I really can fill that up. Okay, now we'll run through some of these distortion modeled kind of sounds. Here's your classic stack, just a little reverb. And that's it. We'll just do a little. Now let's have some fun. Let's add some, let's see. How about some phaser? You haven't tried that yet. I'm just trying to give you like a little sample so you can just see how many things are in this Roland cube. Maybe we'll turn the phaser down. That's a lot of phaser. That's a lot of phaser. And now let's try the flanger so you can hear the difference between those. Now let's move to the rectifier. A little heavier distortion. And again, you could adjust the amount of gain. See? Very little gain. Now I have the gain cranked. Now I'm on the rectifier setting, and I want to just show you the delay that this has. Now again, you can't control like the feedback or the repeats or the exact millisecond. You could just kind of has a knob, so you can go from a fast delay, kind of adds a little fatness, and then I'll go like halfway. You can hear as I increase the delay, right? And if we go, gives you a couple repeats, maybe 3 or 4. So if we go up, crank the gain a little bit, and then maybe we can add a little chorus, just to weten it a little bit, because the delay and reverb are on the same knob, so if you can't have delay and reverb at the same time. Kind of gives you that real concert hall sound with that delay added. So you can hear the difference. I'll turn the delay off. It's a little dry because we've been playing with so many effects, so maybe we'll add a little reverb back. Maybe we'll go back to that classic setting. Oh, British combo. We missed that. Brit combo. What does that sound like? It's a little lighter gain setting. Try that with a little delay. Fatten it up a little bit. Okay, well, I hope this has helped you if you were possibly in the market or wanted to find out what the Roland Cube sounds like. I think for the money, it's not a bad deal considering it's battery powered, so it's like that's half the battle. You can kind of take it anywhere, and that's cool. And it does have a bunch of effects, and some of them maybe are a little cheesy, but overall, it gets some kind of cool tones. So check that bad boy out. Look at the size of it. I can almost... It's almost like smaller than the span of my fingers. I could palm it like a basketball, right? And that's your Roland Cube. And by the way, in case you were noticing behind me, you know, I'm playing this Teisco Spectrum 4. Behind me, there's a variety of Teisco guitars, and they're all wild and fun and, you know, made in the 60s and kind of, you know, just cool, fun things that you could still find at a relatively inexpensive. You know, because if you're collecting guitars, I mean, who can afford the collectors, you know, the real old, you know, Strats and Les Pauls? I mean, they're just so much money. We got to go to another kind of market, right, to find something that the working man like you and me can afford, right? And the one probably rarest of all, this one right here behind me, is the rarely seen Teisco YG6. In fact, we can't show you the whole thing because it's so rarely seen, but you got a little bit of a view of it right there anyway. It's kind of like the Yeti or the Bigfoot, you know? They may be out there, you just haven't seen them, right? Or baby pigeons. I know they exist, I've never seen one. So anyway, I digress, but Teisco YG6, check it out. So anyway, also check out our website at nextlevelguitar.com. Thanks again for tuning in, and again, I hope these help. I've been getting lots of emails and on doing amp series on the lower priced amps and budget-friendly guitars, and we're trying to do a little bit of everything and mix it up a bit. Go to our website, nextlevelguitar.com. Check that out, and if you are watching this on YouTube, please subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. And I'm David Taub from Next Level Guitar. It's a pleasure. I wish you the best in your guitar journey, and we'll see you soon. So keep on rocking and rip it up. Take care.